I look at the Bucks as Augustus Gloop.
That's awesome.
On 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. With Pablo Iglesias, here's Alex Gravatt.
It's the first episode ever of the Saturday Scramble. I'm Alex Gravatt. We've rebranded Saturday Tip-Off no more because, well, there is still basketball, but it's not Wisconsin basketball, which is quite unfortunate. We've got a hell of a show set up today, right? We've got Goody. Has he done enough? Some highlights from the week throughout ESPN Wisconsin, which I think are going to be really important to get to. Jason Wilde scheduled to join the show around 10:45. The Badgers retain some guys. I'm a little less excited about the Packers going into this season than I was last season, but we'll get to that in a minute. Pablo Iglesias not helping out, but
hey,
here along with
we're
us.
We're here, man. We're
And Riley Yauk keeping us sounding good behind the glass. Pablo, how you doing today?
I'm good. It's Saturday vibes. I was hanging out with some friends last night from the gym. We ended up just having like a good social afterwards at a place in Fitchburg. Then we got some ice cream, and then we all ended up just going to my house until about 1 a.m.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
Wait, you're like...
Or 12:30.
You're close with your gym buddies.
Yeah, I'm close. Close with a lot of people. Actually, it's great to be on the Saturday show, but now actually I miss out on our Saturday brunch plans because there's a 9 a.m. class, and then afterwards we go to brunch after. So I was going to let them know, hey, hit me up. Let me know where you're at. I just got a show until noon. It's kind of a flex, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a cool flex.
My girlfriend...
I'm on the radio, so it's like, oh, cool.
My girlfriend Elfie, very upset that this show will cut deeply into our farmers market time once the farmers market on the square opens up, which is so much fun. It's a great date day. It's a great, go get the cheesy bread and all the good produce, things like that. But I don't hang out with anyone from the gym ever. When I'm at the gym, my headphones are on, and I am sweating profusely. I went to the gym this morning, showered, came here, still sweating a little bit, actually. I'm not super excited about that. But we have a different gym experience, right? Because you are a CrossFit kind of guy.
Yes, yeah. So it's like community-based, so you do get to meet a lot of people. It's like it's classes versus just going in, doing free weights and everything. So it's pretty organized from that side. So you get to see people, you get to just, mingle and, made a lot of friends through this.
So I'm kind of the headphones on, head down. I'm doing my own thing because I'm training for ultimate frisbee stuff, right? Like I do a lot of cardio, I do a lot of plyos. I'm trying hard. So that's kind of where I go. And I'm not saying that you don't try hard, but like I'm like locked in on my own thing. There is not like anything. I will occasionally watch because they've got TVs everywhere. I love going during the NBA season because there's always a game on. And so like if I have a minute between, the assault bike and the bench press, I might watch a couple minutes of basketball, and that's always fun.
Just on the assault bike, just going yabo while watching NBA games right now.
I get fired up though. Like I'm motivated when I see these guys doing absolutely insane things because I think there's always that little bit in my brain that's like, if I had earlier, just a little bit earlier, tried really hard or hit puberty, I could have gone pro in a sport that isn't, ultimate frisbee.
I was gonna say, wait, you're like, I could have gone pro. You are pro.
I get paid
pro. Although
dozens of dollars.
We did just before the show, out of curiosity, we went through ChatGPT and asked who Alex Gravatt is, and it made a lot of mentions. One. Fun fact, he is an award-winning sports column writer, so congratulations.
Thank you. The SWAG, Swag, Sports with Alex Gravatt,
Swag,
won my senior year first and third place. I got 2 submissions, first and third place for best sports column in the mid-school market. Or medium size or whatever it was.
Size.
I don't know who won second, but whoever it did in 2016, I'm going to fight you.
Well, the reason why we bring this up, because we know how big of an ultimate aficionado you are, a pro athlete, it mentioned absolutely nothing until the final sentence, which I think I still have right here. Yes. His Instagram profile reflects his involvement in ultimate frisbee and his role as a coordinator of various activities.
Which is hilarious because
it's so vague.
It says like coordinator of shenanigans, doer of antics, and that's like
that is you.
Yeah, I'm 100%. But like the antics. So the reason we got talking about the gym is because I don't know how many people go to the gym, right? Like, I know that it's a pretty common thing, but the gym brings out some of the most interesting people in the community. I'm certain, right? There's a longtime member of my gym who shows up in bedazzled bootcut jeans with usually some sort of cowboy-esque boot on, a big leather belt buckle with a large belt, and then like a t-shirt tucked in. And he'll do like 14 of the most random exercises and then leave. I really like that. But there's a new guy at my gym. And again, we have different experiences with the gym. The three of us. Riley, also very fit, very athletic and active. Riley, what is your experience with the gym really quick?
Yeah, so my gym experience, I go to a jiu-jitsu gym. So
are there free weights or hex bars or bench presses?
No, there's a mat. And I mean, you have some medicine balls, some light dumbbells. All of that's kept on the side for the most part, though.
Can you flip somebody?
Can I flip someone?
Yeah. Can you? That's
wow.
Do you hear how confident he was? Yeah,
100%.
I just love it. I'm not doubting that you can't, or I'm not doubting that you can. It's just like I just love you're like, yeah, I can flip somebody.
Yeah, I go to the gym to fight people.
One sentence.
That's what I do.
If you can describe what your activity is in one sentence, what is it? Riley goes to the gym to fight people.
So the new guy at my gym, I think, is right there with you. And there is no mat. There is no jujitsu. No one is ready to fight. But this guy, who I've never seen before, and on Thursday night, he's there. He has moved all of there are free benches right in front of the barbells, not the dumbbells, dumbbells, not the barbells. So he's moved all of them up so that the bottoms are basically touching the weight rack. And every time someone goes over, they're like, well, I need more room than this. So they're going to scooch it back out, right? And then he walks up, he's like, no. You got to leave it up there. I'm doing something. And everyone's like, oh, okay. And I think everyone's a little put off by this guy because he is wearing a wrestling singlet. He has his knees taped up and then knee braces on. He has got a mouth guard in, and he's got big elbow braces on. And he is doing walking lunges through the entire gym. Now, there is a turf side that they're like, I go over there and I do my I do sled pushes and I do plyometrics over there. So there's a space that is just open for that sort of thing. Yes, there were people there. He would have had to walk in a little bit of a zigzag, but he is instead telling everyone to get out of his way. And he's walking around with this mouth guard in his hand, which I've never more in my life been more convinced that I need to use more hand sanitizer at the gym. Like, gross. And he's just making a whole ruckus about it. And it was really strange. It was hard to see. So 844-770-3776. That's the Cardinals Talking text line. List is more your way into the show. We want to hear from you. What is the most weird or interesting gym story that you have? And please, if you think you are the weirdest person at your gym, I want to hear from you about the looks that you get. I think that would be really funny. Again, 844-770-3776. This is the Saturday Scramble. I'm Alex Gravatt alongside Pablo Iglesias. And Pablo, what do you think?
So when you describe the singlet, like I think of we found at our gym. I don't know if it was posted on our social. We were talking about this a while ago, but we saw a bunch of guys in singlets that were like lifting the old school like barbells where it was just like round. You know what I'm talking about? Like guys like like the 1920s or something like that.
Yes,
yeah.
They had the mustache,
big mustaches. Like, is that? I'm guessing. Like, is that the guy? Like, does he have a mustache? That's what I want to know.
I do not remember the mustache. The mouth guard was just too like.
The mouth guard is different.
And again, I think that there's a world where that's. I get it. Like, you're gritting your teeth, things like that. Maybe he's got a tooth problem. I don't know. But it was just really interesting to have a guy who's like moving people out of the way. And like everyone there, I stand out at the gym. I know that for a fact. I wear Frisbee jerseys. I'm jumping around. I'm doing like weird things to make sure my ankle health is good as I've recovered from a bunch of sprained ankles. I'm doing hip PT. I'm doing box jumps. I'm doing a lot of weird, not just like general lifts or cardio. And so I understand people are looking at me, but this guy was a unicorn. Mm-hmm. All right. He stood out in such a fantastic way. Riley, is there anything like that at your jiu-jitsu gym? Like, who's the weirdest jiu-jitsu guy?
See, so it makes sense at a jiu-jitsu gym if someone's coming in a wrestling singlet.
That's fair.
Because you're grappling.
Are you coming in a wrestling singlet?
No, I show up in my fight shorts and my rash guard, which, I mean, is for all intents.
What's a rash guard?
It's similar to a wrestling singlet. It's basically a compression shirt. It keeps you from, when you have the big gi on like they wear in the karate movies, it keeps from getting rashes. You don't want to get the rug burn from this big weighty kimono on you and from rubbing up against each other. Pause.
Phrasing.
Oh my.
So that's why
Spicy.
you have the rash guard. So it makes sense why you would wear something like that at my gym. I'm trying to fathom, because I have some friends who are powerlifters too, and they'll also wear singlets to the gym. What benefit is that giving you when you're lifting weights?
No,
Do
man.
you guys know?
I know that compression is good for your weights, right? Like, we are recommended to wear compression shorts for Frisbee and for other athletic endeavors because, and I don't know exactly what it is, but it's just kind of like, oh, this is something that's smart. It keeps your muscles cool or something. I don't know the X's and O's. I'm not a sports doctor.
I need like flexibility. I need elastic because so I've been trying to, at least in the last year, putting in a lot more work, and I've noticed that the shorts that I wear, the good thing that was pointed out to me was as long as the shorts feel like that, like in your thighs, that's where it's there's not as much give versus the waist. That's what I was told. So if the shorts are getting a little tighter around the thighs, that means it's a good sign that you're building up some quads there. So I need something that stretches. I don't know if I could ever wear a singlet.
There's a lot of stretch in those.
Yeah.
Am I right, Riley?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I've not worn one of those. I guess that's not true. I did wrestle for about. I wrestled twice in 4th and 6th grade. I didn't in 5th grade because I was like, I don't want to do this. After a kid who had started to hit puberty, I was in 4th grade. I had not even come kind of close. This kid he had grown up a little bit, but I was just I'm a large person. I'm 6'4". I weigh about 200, 205 these days. Then I was big too. I was a really big kid. And so there's only 3 people in my weight class. It was me, it was a kid named Brady, and somebody named Lydia. And Lydia was a friend of mine. We wrestled and I did beat her pretty handily, but she was one of 3 people. It was kind of a round robin at the tournament that we went to. And then I went on to the championship against Brady, and Brady gave me a bloody nose with his abs. He put he laid on my face and spun around, and I bled everywhere. And I was like, I don't know if I ever need to do this again.
Listen, guys, you're a wrestler. You're a wrestler in a past life, Riley. I know that your family history. Your dad is a high school wrestling coach too. Also, congrats to the Milton Redhawks. I know that they were here earlier last week, girls state champions. But listen, you wrestlers, man, are just another breed. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's scary. Jake Kokorowski texting in on the private talking text line saying for powerlifting competitions, competitors need to wear approved singlets. So I guess they need to have that for competitions.
Okay. I guess that's the uniform then.
I can't wear gym shorts, I guess, if I ever decide to go to the Olympics for powerlifting.
No, not a chance. Okay, before we get to break, Pablo, now you have a community-based gym.
Yep.
It's a what is it called?
Our gym?
No, not your gym, but like
CrossFit.
CrossFit, yes, you do CrossFit, and you're doing
Shout
a
out
lot
Big
of
Dane.
hanging out, having fun. Is there one person who's going like above and beyond, or like being weird, making it hard for other people to lift, or is it much more communal?
No, it's very much more communal. I think it does feel like that. It is like it's running your own race type of thing. It's very encouraging. It's very uplifting. At first, I thought that this was not for me when I tried it about 3-4 years ago, and yeah, it was intimidating at first, but really, again, when it just kind of comes to resetting your mindset of just go out there, let it rip, have fun, and there are some days where it's like it's more of just testing yourself. Like I think there's and that's just where I go about it. It's more of like if you're friends, like your tight group, you see like somebody's going hard on a recovery day, you kind of just like razz them a little bit there, but otherwise it's it's just all fun and games for the most part.
That's good. And so it sounds like to you working out is a community end goal.
Yes.
Whereas to me, it is a means to my end goal of Frisbee. And Riley's flipping people wearing, tight clothes and trying not to get rug burn from rubbing each other too hard. 844-770-3776, the Carbless Talking text line. Liz is more. That's your way into the show. Please tell us, do you think that, or what is your wildest gym story? And if you are the wild gym guy, let us know what that's like. Coming up next, we're going to talk about Brian Gutekunst. Has he done enough this offseason? That's been the talk of the town all week. That's next. This is Saturday Scramble on ESPN Madison.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Metro Kia of Madison is Madison's trusted Kia dealership, and they are home to the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service your vehicle, Metro Kia of Madison is the place to go. As always, at Metro Kia of Madison, you can enjoy 2 years of no-charge maintenance on any new vehicle. Browse their inventory and find this month's special at MetroKiaofMadison.com. That's MetroKiaofMadison.com. Find your new vehicle at your trusted Kia dealership today.
Hey football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets for the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone where you'll be taken care of like a first-round pick. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois. Age 21 years or older. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? Discover TPC Wisconsin, an instant classic in the heart of the Midwest. With a course co-designed by Steve Stricker and PGA Tour Designs, it's the 13th and newest TPC Network golf club in the world. Other high-quality amenities include a short game practice area, athletic performance center, and meeting and dining facilities, plus membership benefits that reach around the globe. Schedule a tour at tpcwisconsin.com and start your journey to a lifetime of priceless golf.
Drum roll, please!
Carbliss is here with refreshing new flavors. Introducing their Tropical Bliss Variety Pack. Let the summertime flavors of blood orange, watermelon, raspberry, and grapefruit whisk you away from the winter blues. New flavors, same great Carbliss perks. Every handcrafted cocktail still has 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and just 100 calories. Find the Tropical Bliss Variety Pack in store wherever Carbliss is sold and enjoy your winter passport to paradise. Grab a pack today and discover why Bliss is more with Carbliss.
We ask and you answer. Tune in to Jim, Matt, and Molly every weekday 4 to 6 and follow at Jim, Matt, Molly on X to vote in daily poll questions presented by Siding Unlimited, your local window installation pros.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Madison's home of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Lillard lobs up top to Giannis. Whoa, what a play!
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, bump set, left side, powers it down. What a rally! And Wisconsin comes out on top.
And now, the Milwaukee Brewers.
Swinging a fly ball to left. It is back to the wall. Gone! Churio, a grand slam.
This is Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers, 100.5 ESPN. You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Are you the weirdo at the gym? I hope I'm not. I might be, though. I'm Alex Gravatt alongside Pablo Iglesias. This is Saturday Scramble on ESPN Madison. 844-770-3776 is the Carbliss Talk and text line. List is more, and that's your way into the show. Tell us if you think you are the weirdo at the gym or your weirdest gym story, as I have a new guy at my gym wearing a wrestling singlet and has a mouth guard, and he's moving benches out of the way and telling people they can't be where they are. But we promised Packers talk, and so Packers talk will get. Brian Gutekunst has been, the hotbed topic of the offseason. All offseason long, it's has he done enough? Is he doing the right thing? We're all in. There's a sense of urgency. But the past week in particular, we've been trying to figure out, has he done enough? He signed 2 guys this free agency class, and Hobbs and Banks, and they're both good. They both got a ton of money, but I'm not sure if they're necessarily the biggest needs that the Packers have. And so, Pablo, I want to start right away with you and your thoughts. Like, have the Green Bay Packers, and namely Brian Gutekunst, done enough?
For starters, the Aaron Banks move I understand, because yes, you do need to build up that offensive line, but I feel like that it's just fallen short right now, because you know that last year, well, first off, you're going to lose Christian Watson for at least, I think, until late October, early November at the earliest. Like, that's the soonest he could possibly come back. I feel like that there is a deficiency right now in the wide receiver room. As much as you want to build this young receiving core and have them work with Jordan Love, that's all fine, but I think the lack of star power, that is what takes you far. Look at the Philadelphia Eagles, even though they have some homegrown guys, and you have Devontae Smith and even Jahan Dotson, who played a pretty decent role in the Super Bowl. You went out and got A.J. Brown, too. So you got somebody that you could build around.
And Saquon Barkley.
Yes, that's right. How did I forget about Saquon
2,000-yard man?
Barkley? I'm talking about receivers, just not running backs. But you know what? That's another point, too, is that you have to find some type of wiggle room. I'm not saying that you have to get the top guy on the market, but you got to get somebody that's a little flashy in this situation. And yeah, I know that the wide receivers were a little older, but still give Davante Adams a call.
Yes.
He said that he was disappointed. You know what? If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But you got to at least give him a call. And that's where I stand, and I think a lot of people feel the same way.
2 things. Ryan in Fort agrees with you, right? Goody is too reliant on his poor drafting ability and too stubborn to bring in veteran players. Goody has not done enough, and I think that that's really fair. One thing I want to point out is I think Brian Gutekunst last year earned some respect and some major chops in knowing the market, right? It was a fantastic year for running backs in free agency and safeties, right? Xavier McKinney may have been one of, if not the best safety on the free market, and he became the best, right? We know that the impact he had was incredible for this Green Bay Packers defense, but he also knew that he could get them at a cheaper rate because there were so many available. And this year, there seems to be some wide receivers available. There seems to be some cornerbacks available. They're all a little older. And doing some research for the show last night, I realized a lot of times really old wide receivers don't do that great when they transition from one team to another, right? Obviously, Davante Adams needed a call, and that's something that would have made a big difference for this team. And Tauscher talked about that, which we'll get to in just one moment. But I liked Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper has had good moments. He didn't have a fantastic season last year. It wasn't a world beater. He wasn't a 1,000-yard receiver. And if you brought him in, he wouldn't be a 1,000-yard receiver this year. He's relying a lot on the guys that he has in-house to take steps that, we continue to say, oh, well, Jaden Reed's unproven. Or is he proven, right?
But he also needs that mentor. He needs somebody that I think what a Davante Adams or I felt like it would have been a long shot anyway with Cooper Kupp, but you look at the guys who are veterans out there, actually I feel like that maybe he could be the veteran leader. Elijah Moore, is he still on the market? I thought he was. He would be a dark horse that I don't know if he would be. I think he's a bad mentor, but you know what I'm saying? More so from Davante Adams and the Cooper Kupps, the guys who have been around the league for a while that could help mentor these guys, help push them into the right direction. I don't feel like that they're trending in the wrong direction, but it just feels stagnant.
But do you want to spend a 3-year, $69 million contract, which is what I believe they just gave Amari Cooper?
I would not do that. I don't know where I would stand with Amari Cooper. I'm just very fixated on the Davante Adams side because, again, it just doesn't feel like that they did it right. Where I know that the Packers want to stay young. They want to just, keep the receivers young, but it's not a perfect system either. You got to have some type of wiggle room. You got to allow something to give a little bit. Because, again, if you feel like that you're one player away or if you feel like that I don't feel like that the Packers have enough. And even though Goody says that, we got everything that we need, I think they have some of what they need. But again, like where the offense just didn't feel like that it really like pushed through. You got Josh Jacobs and you filled in that gap too where you lose Aaron Jones. I can't say that Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones are the exact same back.
Aaron Jones. They got Josh. There was 20 minutes where everyone was like, we're going to have Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones.
That's true.
And that was the most exciting moment of Packers recent history to me. I quickly want to correct myself. It was Stephon Diggs who got the $63 million 3-year deal. So, but again, Amari Cooper.
Diggs, I'd do it. I'd do it for Diggs.
Coming off that injury?
He's still explosive, man.
Okay.
I'll take the risk. I've seen what... I love Stephon Diggs. I think he's a dog. He brings a fire, and he probably brings a fire that the Packers locker room needs.
There's a big personality in there that, you have one with Jair Alexander who might stay, but we'll get to that a little bit later. I do want to talk about what Mark Tauscher said. This is the Saturday Scramble. I'm Alex Gravatt alongside Pablo Iglesias. 844-770-3776 is your way into the show. The Carbless Talk and text line. Less is more. Here's Mark Tauscher on what he believes Goody, whether or not he's done enough this offseason.
How many times do you see a team go from a Hall of Fame quarterback to being in the playoffs and having a lead to go to an NFC champ the next blanking year? So is it complacency? I don't know how many times I have to tell you guys. I was on the table here saying I want Davante Adams there. I wanted him. I was one of the first people to say, let's go do it. They didn't. Okay. They believe that the more urgent, and I got into this with you yesterday too, the more urgent need was to give better protection to Jordan Love and to be better up front against the better teams in the NFC. That's what Brian Gutekunst has done. He will be judged on that. If the receiving corps stinks again, he will be judged harshly.
That was Mark Tauscher on Wilde and Tash weekdays 9 to noon, a well-produced show, specifically when Riley steps in. Riley, you do a fantastic job with that show. Who's the other guy on that one?
Who's that?
Jesse Nelson, that's right.
Whoa, Riley.
Whoa, Riley.
Riley.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, so again, I think we can all agree Goody failed in not calling Davante, in not even kicking the tires on that. But to say the urgent need of this team is to improve the offensive line and slot corner position tells me one thing. The Packers are not worried about the greater NFC or the greater NFL. They're worried about winning in the division, which is a super fair idea because the Lions are going to come after you. They have a great defensive front. The Vikings' defensive front is no joke. And then you have really strong slot wide receivers. You're a Bears fan, right?
Yes.
Roma Dunze is the future of the wide receiver core, right?
Absolutely. I just feel it feels so small picture. If you are just, it's almost like Big Ten basketball, where you just want to try to make it out of the lion's den of this conference and hope for the best once you get to the March Madness tournament. That's just at least my take. I think the Packers. Let me ask you point blank: do you feel like that the Packers are or can be right now the best team in the NFC North, or are they still third best?
I think, and I'm struggling because right now, and we'll get into this a little bit later, but right now, I'm not feeling incredibly excited about the Green Bay Packers like I was last season, where it was like, oh my gosh, we have all this young talent, where we had such a fantastic season, and when push came to shove, we made a rookie mistake, but we're not going to make those rookie mistakes again. And now I'm sitting here like, okay, last season, we beat all of these bad teams we played. We played teams that were beat up at the right time to have a great season, and it wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong. Like, it was a good season. It's what we've come to expect as Packer fans. But we lost 6 games total. 2 to the Eagles, who won the championship, right? That's a real team. 2 to the Vikings, 2 to the Lions. I guess we lost to the Bears once. I'm sorry, I forgot about that.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, sure. But that didn't count, right? Like, no one was actually playing for most of that game. It wasn't a great...
Put you in a funk going into...
potentially, yeah.
Into the wild card week, so...
No.
It didn't.
You're wrong.
You're telling me the Week 18 loss to the Bears didn't do anything to the psyche?
Hell no. No.
Fair enough. Touche.
But I do think that there's a lot of importance in winning the division, and I think that there's a lot of importance in beating those top tier teams, right? The Lions were 22 people short at the end of the year because of IR and whatnot. And the Vikings, despite, Sam Darnold falling apart in the playoffs, were really, really good all season long. So if you can go out and beat those two teams consistently, I think you got a shot against any team in the NFC.
I mean, also, if you look at it, though, too, the Packers were 1-5 against the NFC North, too? So, I mean, if your goal is to attack the NFC, I get it. Maybe it isn't small picture right now because you were 1-5 last year against your conference or against your division.
Yeah, I agree. I tend to agree, and I know that Mark Tauscher agrees, and we don't have Mark Tauscher coming up here shortly. We do have Jason Wilde coming up around 10:45, scheduled to appear. And I'm willing to bet he would agree, too, that is what the main concern is. But should that be? And maybe we'll do that. We'll get that on ESPN Madison. You can vote on Twitter. Our poll question will be, do you think it's let's workshop this. Should the highest priority be winning the NFC North?
What do you value more, winning the NFC North or what are our choices here?
Well, it should be the NFC North or what should our top priority be? Beating the teams in the NFC North or beating the NFC as a whole?
Okay.
We'll get that up on Twitter here in a moment where you can vote. 844-770-3776 is your way into the show. Coming up next, we have a game that I really like. Second Take. We're gonna tell you who had the best take across ESPN Wisconsin this week. This is the Saturday Scramble on ESPN Madison.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
It's the season of upsets and buzzer beaters. It's also the season of hate and threats directed at college athletes. 1 in 3 high-profile athletes receives abusive messages online, and female athletes receive 3 times as many. 1 in 5 college athletes reports experiencing mental health concerns, but less than half of them will seek support. BetterHelp is partnering with college athletes by providing a free month of therapy to any student athlete who visits stopthemadness.org. Visit stopthemadness.org today.
With the next pick in the big draft, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Dane County selects you. As we count down to the draft in Green Bay, Big Brothers and Big Sisters is also counting on you to help meet the growing demand of mentorship in our community. Become a role model, a motivator, a supporter, a positive influence. Empower the young people in our community to create a brighter future for all. Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Dane County presents The Big Draft in partnership with the NFL Inspire Change. Learn how to get involved at bbbsmadison.org.
Professional volleyball is in full swing from here in Madison. Don't miss a second of the action. Cheer on Love Madison Volleyball as they make history with some of the best players in the world. Olympic medalists, NCAA All-Americans, and one of the most talented rookie classes ever. This is volleyball at its highest level. Experience the excitement yourself. Get your tickets today at lovb.com. Volleyball is the next major league.
Hey, ready to sweeten your game? It's time for Quick Trip's Nature's Touch Ice Cream. Ooh, making moves like the starting lineup of a championship team. Whether you're gearing up for the big game, celebrating a win, or just looking for a sweet break in the action. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and more. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad pick. So why wait? Flavor doesn't scoop itself. Get your hands on your winning Nature's Touch Ice Cream flavor today. Only at Quick Trip.
Hi, this is Brian Posick, and I can't wait for Mark Osiki's Casting for Kids Fishing Tournament coming up Saturday, May 17th on the Madison Chain of Lakes. It's a great time, great people, all for a great cause. There's lunch, dinner, raffles, and auctions, all to support the American Family Children's Hospital, UW Carbone Cancer Center. Plus a chance to win an Alumacraft fishing boat from Don's Marine. Join us on the water May 17th. Donate or partner with us. Learn more and register at castingforkids.org. That's casting4kids.org.
Look who we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Hit it. Is AI controlling your life? I don't know, but it's controlling the breaks here at ESPN Madison Radio. I'm Alex Gravatt. This is Saturday Scramble. I'm alongside Pablo Iglesias, who is having the time of his life.
Dude, I could shuffle to this. I love this song. I want to rock right now. Dude, I love It Takes Two.
Pablo Iglesias, everybody. We've got Riley Yauk choosing the music. Great job, Riley Yauk.
You got me. You got
rock
me.
Right now. I'm on bass and I came to get down. I'm not internationally known, but I'm known to rock the microphone because I get stupid. I mean outrageous. Stay away from me if you contagious. That's all I know.
Wow. Hey, Pablo Iglesias standing up for the first time all day. He's been our AI generating everything he can. He's finding out things about me. We're AI generating descriptions for the show. Wow, Riley Yauk. What year did this song come out?
It's a great question. I'll have to look it up. Then I feel like it's a 90s song.
Yeah, this gives me this reminds me of The Last Dance a lot.
1988?
Yeah.
Wow.
So and you just hit like what, 80 words in a row?
Yeah, a few verses. I'll take that.
I pegged you as like a country music guy.
I am a country music guy.
That was amazing.
Thank you. I mix it up a little bit.
I feel like there's got to be like one verse. Like there's got to be like one rap verse that everybody knows, like bar for bar. Like you have the breaths in and everything. So mine is, I can't do this on the air, but it's Smack That, and it's the Eminem. It's the Eminem verse from Smack That with Akon.
I know that this is gonna. There's a group of people my age who is gonna really resonate with this, and I bet a lot of people won't. But mine is, I think I can do the entirety of "Remember the Name."
That
Fort Minor, M. Shinoda.
We talk about like, so I still think that It Takes Two is like peak NBA, like NBA, like on NBC kind of vibe. You hear round ball rock, basketball.
Give me the ball, cause I'm gonna dunk it.
But Remember the Name for me is also like when I think of like when I started watching basketball with the big baggy shorts and one, you got like Jason Kidd of the New Jersey Nets, Richard Jefferson, Vince Carter posterizing people, like NBA Live, man. That's what Remember the Name reminds me of.
Wow,
like,
really?
Yeah, like that was when I started watching the NBA.
That's awesome.
Everybody had a hype video to Remember the Name.
844-770-3776. What is the one song that you can rap all of the lyrics to? I also... In that is the Will Smith Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I think I can do the whole thing, including the part of the verse that they cut out for the intro of the show.
Back then. Oh wait. Oh no, I messed it up already.
Yeah, I don't know where you were going with that. But
she gave me a kiss and then she gave me. I put my Walkman on and said I
might as well kick it. All right. Speaking of kick it, we're gonna kick it over to Riley Yauk for second take.
We'll have a more produced intro come next week. We're just going to have the background music today. But it's time for second take. Going to blind rank 3 takes from this past week. Starting with, one sec, got to pull over this computer screen. Great radio right now. Starting with this take from the one and only Alex Strofe in his segment during KBN yesterday. Take a listen. What do you think?
Travesty in college basketball today, fellas.
Oh. What happened?
The AP Coach of the Year has come out for the first time in 58 years. It is a split decision. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Let me guess. Go ahead. Because I haven't seen.
Think hard. Who?
John Shire.
Nope.
Purdue. Okay.
Nope.
How about the Florida guy?
Oh, that's a good thought.
Nope.
I don't know then.
What about
Patino?
Yeah,
Patino? Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Patino's one of them.
And then another one is still alive. Team was the number 1 overall seed in the tournament.
There you go. Milwaukee Ties.
They're all.
What's his name, Brad? You got it.
Wait a minute. Wait. I'm blanking on.
You like the maybe you buy your
Bruce Pearl.
Bruce
There you go.
Pearl.
I was like,
Yeah.
who is that fourth team? But yeah, it's
Bruce Pearl and Rick Pitino.
A tie,
And despite being picked 14th in the Big Ten in the preseason, despite landing with a number 3 seed, despite having a top 20 scoring offense in all of college basketball, Greg Gard received a total of 0 votes, which is ridiculous.
Boo.
Yeah. I'm not advocating that
votes,
Greg
yeah.
deserved to win the award.
Yeah, okay, so I like that from Mr. Irrelevant himself. This is segment becoming relevant on KBN, but does Greg Gard deserve a vote for Coach of the Year? Probably not, right? He did a great job general managing, getting the right pieces in place to make a really strong Wisconsin team. When push came to shove, he didn't do a great job. He didn't, much like the Packers this year, take down the biggest team, the biggest names, but like the fact that Florida's head coach didn't receive a single vote, they were not supposed to be some like insane power. This was good, but the fact that like I don't know, Wisconsin didn't do anything that impressive. They didn't even win their own tournament. I'm gonna say 3. I'd be willing to hear 2. Pablo, what do you think?
I don't know. I mean, so Florida's coach got no votes. Is that right?
Correct. Okay, the coaches receiving votes: Pearl Patino, Louisville's Pat Kessley, Duke's John Shire got 5 votes, Dennis Gates from Missouri, Tom Izzo from Michigan State, and then 3 got 1, I believe. Drake's Ben McCollum and UC San Diego's Eric Olin both get 1. And I think both of those guys deserve 1.
Gard is definitely deserving of like a couple votes at least, because a couple. I'm not saying he should have been at the top. Should have gotten a couple at least, but how is Florida's coach not getting anything? They are the 1 seed. They are one of the 1 seeds. If anything, they're my champion I picked. I felt like that they looked like a well-oiled machine. This is a well-coached team. And as you said, too, I don't know if anyone really expected. We all thought Kansas was going to be the preseason number 1, and look where they're at.
No Coach of the Year there.
No Coach of the Year there.
2 or 3.
I'll go 3.
All
I'll
right.
stick with you on 3.
Mr. Irrelevant has won the last 2 versions of this, and he comes in dead stinking last.
Hey.
All right, what's next, Riley?
All righty. So Alex Strofe ends up in 3rd place. Now we have a take from a caller on Wilde and Tausch regarding Lucas Van Ness.
Podcast in Green Bay in late April. I think we'll be picking some more winners throughout the course of this week, so stay tuned if you still want a chance to win. John was actually caller 12. Caller 11 did not want the tickets to the podcast, but he did want to say that we should stop calling Lucas Van Ness LVN because he's not good enough to warrant a nickname that sounds cool.
1. Absolute fantastic take. I will say, we have a lot of words to say as radio hosts. We got a lot going on. The fact that he called in, won tickets to the live show of fantasy focused football, and said no, he just wanted to say this. I love that. That is hilarious.
That's a real one.
It happened to me once when I was a kid. I called into a radio station. I wanted to win tickets to a show. Or no, I didn't want to win tickets to a show. I wanted to request a song. And then I won the tickets, but my mom wouldn't let me go. And so I ran downstairs to talk to her while on the phone with this radio host. He was like, oh, okay, well, I got to hang up on you then. Bye. But like, we don't have all day. We can't be spending all this time saying Lucas Van Ness when we could say LVN, and you know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
But I still think that that him not being good enough for a nickname is hilarious. First, best take.
I like it. I'm with you on this one. I'm just gonna keep piggybacking, and it seems like that we're just gonna leave the blank space or whatever 2 is coming up. But I like it. The fact that he turned down the free ticket. How are you turning down something free? How are you turning down a cool moment like that? It's like, I just wanted to come say hey. That's it.
All right, Riley. What is our second best take of the week?
Second best take of the week is from Jim, Matt, and Molly. We've been talking about Brian Gutekunst. Here are Molly and Matt on Brian Gutekunst.
Now, if you're a player
And you hear him say, it's urgency across the board. It's urgency from the players. It's urgency from the board, from coaches. It's urgency from everybody. Are you annoyed? Because I feel like if I'm a player and I have essentially my boss saying, you need to be more urgent, but then I feel like he's lacking a sense of urgency.
Right.
That's going to make me mad.
Well, no, he targeted some top guys and got them.
Who are the targets that he got? Who are the top guys?
And Dobbs.
Hobbs.
Hobbs.
That is the problem.
No, I totally agree.
You have never called Xavier McKinney the wrong name. Oh, because guess what? He's actually a real target.
Yeah.
Oh, you've never called Josh Jacobs the wrong name because guess what? He's a real guy in the NFL.
That's good.
I wish you know what? Now I'm regretting. We can't go back now, but this is more like a 1B kind of option versus just calling this a solid 2 because that's so true. That's what we were talking about. It's like, hey, you get positions where you need to fill some gaps, but like it's not as sexy as last year. It's not Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney. Credit, like this is a guy that worked with Rich Bisaccia, but what?
Yeah, the fact that he got the name wrong, I think, tells you all you need to know. You're not going to get Xavier McKinney wrong. You're not going to get Josh Jacobs wrong, partially because everyone has Josh Jacobs on a fantasy team, right? But
you're not going to get Devontae Adams wrong.
That you're not. All right, but we're not going to get Jason Wilde wrong. He's scheduled to come up next. Thank you so much for joining us and for putting that together, Riley. It was really well done. I appreciate everything you do for the show. 844-770-3776 is your way into the show. This is Saturday Scramble. And coming up next, Jason Wilde's scheduled to appear.
Greg Scalzi here for Total Athlete Performance. They're here to provide elite performance training for serious athletes in the Madison area. And there's a new Verona TAP facility open inside of the Verona Athletic Center. Summer speed, agility, and semi-private options are now available at both Verona and Windsor locations and now offering monthly subscription payment options. Plus, you can download the new Total Athlete Performance app for remote training options all year round. Visit tapwisconsin.com. That's tapwisconsin.com.
Veins don't have to be a pain. Whether you're suffering from painful varicose veins or bothersome spider veins, Stoughton Health's board-certified general surgeon, Dr. Aaron Schwab, can help. Join Dr. Schwab for a free educational online event, Thursday, April 10th at 5:30 p.m. to learn about simple outpatient treatment that can alleviate varicose or spider veins. Register for this free event online at stoughtonhealth.com. Then click on Classes and Events. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
What's up, Wisconsin fans? Enjoying the game should always be easy, so don't overthink it. What to wear? Done. Just toss on your lucky jersey. Don't know what to serve your friends? Easy. Pick up some pizza from your go-to place and grab Bud Light to stock your fridge. See? It's that easy. Just like Bud Light, which is always brewed with 4 simple ingredients for a clean, crisp taste. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly, 21 plus. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Get ready for the Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon Golf Outing on Friday, May 30th at Old Hickory Golf Club in Beaver Dam. Registration's at 11 a.m. while 12 p.m. marks the shotgun start. It's only $350 for a foursome with 2 carts and a lunch for 4. The registration deadline is May 16th. A form and more details are available at dailydodge.com. All funds raised through the day will benefit the 2025 Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon.
When you've been seriously injured, you'll need a team with knowledge and experience to get the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Hey, ready to sweeten your game? It's time for Quick Trip's Nature's Touch Ice Cream. Ooh, making moves like the starting lineup of a championship team. Whether you're gearing up for the big game, celebrating a win, or just looking for a sweet break in the action. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and more. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad pick. So why wait? Flavor doesn't scoop itself. Get your hands on your winning Nature's Touch Ice Cream flavor today. Only at Quick Trip.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Man, what a hell of a year it's been. Keep on bluffing, but I just can't win.
Saturday Scramble continuing on a almost somber note.
This is nice though. It's like Jim Nance at the Masters. Hello, friends, kind of vibe.
I'm Alex Gravatt. That's Pablo Iglesias, and this was the request of one Jason Wilde, who joins us now. Jason, how you doing today?
All right. Well, first of all, I want to give Riley some grace here because I gave him that like 30 seconds before I came on. And there is more of an upbeat portion of the song if you don't start at the beginning, but that's on me right there.
There we go.
Sipping on cold. You see? So that's on me. That's not on Riley. Secondly, if we make this a regular thing, I'll get more creative with my musical walk-up stuff.
Whoa, Riley for sure.
All right, well, Jason, thanks so much for joining, and thanks for asking about regularity. We would love to have you join every Saturday we can. What are you usually doing at this time on a Saturday now that we're taking up 15 minutes of your time?
Well, we're sharing 15 minutes of our time, as Riley told me. I just dropped Sid off at soccer practice, and then I got a couple errands to run. Saturdays and Sundays are busy in the Wilde family, sports constantly, and obviously the draft is right around the corner. I'm driving on Oneida Street right now as long as I can drive on it before I get to the theater for the NFL draft. So running some errands and then heading back and watching the rest of soccer practice today.
Well, as you, we're also quite busy, and I want to mention this and throw my co-host under the bus really quick. As we were preparing to have you on, he's been having a lot of fun with AI, and he took your most recent article and he threw it in ChatGPT and said, summarize this for me.
It's probably really smart, actually, because I write such long stories.
Yes! Clip that, Riley. Jason said that I'm smart.
Well, one of the bullet points that it did give us was that Matt LaFleur mentioned that this is going to be, he wants to emphasize 2025, and he knows that it's going to be really important. And the greater conversation across ESPN Wisconsin has really been, is that true? Have the Packers been, urgent this offseason in putting together what could be a Super Bowl roster? And I want to get your take on that. Do you think that they're doing that, and how do you think Matt LaFleur is doing that?
So I think this is a really interesting conversation, and Tausch and I had it to some degree, and we took a bunch of calls, which we don't do a ton of, and I thought we got some really nuanced opinions, which, me, I really like that, because I feel like, we paint fan bases with a broad brush. We paint decisions as either black or white, yes or no. It's this guy's fault they didn't win the Super Bowl. It's this guy that was the reason why they won the game, and it's never that simple, right? And so in Goody's case about the urgency thing, I think it's a really interesting conversation to have, because, and this has been my point, and I get called a Goody hater a little more than I think I deserve. I think I'm a critic, but I praise him too, including to his face. And whatever I say behind his back, I would say to his face too. And I would say this, that if you're going to come out and say that we need to ramp up our urgency, that this team is ready to compete for championships, then I think you have to say, and I have to do my part too, right? I have to make sure that we are in every conversation, which is what he once said, right? When he took the job, that was the buzzword in 2018. I want to be in every conversation. I went back into my archives to make sure I found that quote and got it right, because when he said this about urgency and then he was asked about it at the NFL meetings, which I thought was a fair question, he basically said, well, that was for the players. And you certainly don't want to behave in the offseason in a panicky, overly urgent manner, right? Because then you end up paying guys you shouldn't pay. You end up making mistakes, and then you end up making your team worse, not better. So I'm not saying that he should have, broken the bank to spend. But I do think there's a conversation to be had about how much urgency did he show? How many conversations was he in? Because I can tell you, and we've talked about this, they never contacted Davante Adams. Now, you can say, as a fan, I didn't want Davante Adams. Cool. That's okay. But when you're talking about being a championship team, that feels like a call that you should at least explore. That feels like something where you say, I don't know if this is going to be a good fit, but I should at least investigate it. And ultimately, if the price tag is too high, which I think it was going to turn out to be with what the Rams gave him, then that's fine. But those are the types of things where I would just like Goody to say, hey, I put it on our players to have greater urgency, but I feel that same urgency, and I got to do the job too.
Jason, I'm glad that you brought that up too, because it does feel like for me too that Goody is talking the talk but not exactly walking the walk right now. Where do you stand in believing that? Do you think like that the Packers roster right now, it's good where it's at the moment, or do you truly feel like in order to be a Super Bowl contender, not be a team that wins 10, 11, 12 games, to be a Super Bowl contender, do you genuinely believe that this team is still at least one marquee player away?
No, well, let me put it this way. I think they're one marquee player away, but I think that one player can emerge from their existing team. And if that's the case, then they won't be one player away, right? I mean, look, I don't know who that player is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be Jaden Reed. I don't know if it's going to be Rashawn Gary becoming the guy that they paid him to be. They need guys to have more impact. They need guys to raise their level of play. They need Jaden Reed. They need Dontavion Wicks. They need Luke Musgrave to get back to being a guy that they have on the field a lot. He's dealt with a lot of injuries. So I think they can have those marquee players. They don't have to go out and get them. And in fairness to Goody, if you look at free agency, I'm not sure how many guys there were that you would say, well, this guy would have made sense. This guy would have been worth paying. This guy would have fit what they're trying to do. But my point about free agency has always been, because I believe in the Ted Thompson draft and develop theory, and what the free agent market is supposed to do is to fill gaps that are created by the mistakes you make in the draft. So you sign Aaron Banks because you were wrong on Josh Myers and you didn't want him back, and you're moving Elton Jenkins inside. You signed Xavier McKinney because you were wrong about Darnell Savage, right? I mean, I've gone through this list before on our other shows, but that's the reality. And so, Goody is a good to very good GM, but he is not. He's not infallible, and none of them are. But I do think that there's, at least some responsibility that should be on his plate for we need to figure out what it takes, because it's great if you have a starting lineup that you feel really good about. But if you have injury problems, look at what happened to the Lions. The Lions were a Super Bowl team, and they still managed to get to where they got to. But it's certainly, I think they probably win the Super Bowl if they aren't devastated by injury. So Goody's got to make sure he not only has good frontline players, but depth. And I don't know how good their depth is.
And I'm glad that you brought up the Lions, because we were talking a little earlier about the way that the Packers have addressed this offseason, going and getting, the offensive lineman Banks, and going and getting Hobbs, who's a slot guy, corner for the most part. And it feels to me like there's an emphasis in a prioritization of beating the other teams in the NFC North before just being the best, highest quality team. And I don't know if that's necessarily true, but, taking away a guy like Amon-Ra St. Brown or Roma Dunze, who's on the rise, and then having an offensive lineman who can help with the run game when the Lions and the Vikings are so hard to run against. Do you see that being true? And do you see Gutekunst and the Packers emphasizing and prioritizing winning the North, maybe even over beating all the rest of the NFC teams?
Well, I do think that they prioritize winning the division, because as Mike McCarthy used to always talk about, first you clinch a playoff berth, then you win the division, that assures you a home game. Then you shoot for, now it's just the number one seed only, to get the first round bye. And so I do think they prioritize that. But I also think that what they learned last season, when they had a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense, but didn't get it done against the best teams, is that they've got some work to do in terms of how they win. And, they have one of the premier running backs in the league. They have one of the up-and-coming rising star tight ends. I do think that you are going to see them play offense a little bit differently, and I think that's where Banks is part of the equation. I think they got him because they do want to run the ball more effectively, even though they ran the ball pretty darn well, if we're being honest. So, I think they would like to see Josh Jacobs have a little bit fewer yards after contact, right? I mean, he had so many yards after contact, and if you compared it to Saquon Barkley had almost as many yards before contact as he had total. So obviously they did a much better job of creating holes for Saquon Barkley. So I think that's part of the equation. I also think that while they believe that Jordan Love is a good to very good quarterback, and they paid him a huge amount of money, I don't think they want to make it so he's just got to go win games all the time the way his predecessor had to do it. So they need their wide receivers to rise up, but I think they're going to be a run-first, tight end dominance. Somebody, I think it was Domofsky, who asked LaFleur at the coach's breakfast in Florida, can your number one receiver be a tight end? And he said, absolutely. And Tucker Kraft could be to Jordan Love what Travis Kelce has been to Patrick Mahomes, because they've had kind of a revolving cast of wide receivers, but Kelce's always been the go-to guy.
Jason, I'm glad that you brought that up. It was like you almost read my mind, too. Jason Wilde joining us here. Pablo Iglesias, Alex Gravatt here on the Saturday Scramble. You can hear Jason Wilde 9 to noon on Wilde and Tausch here across ESPN Wisconsin. Jason, I'm glad again that you brought up a little bit of that nugget here. I'm reading the quote, I think anything is possible. I would never limit it to just being a wide receiver. When they were asked about Tucker Kraft being the number one receiver in this offense, I guess for fans, should fans be concerned or should they be excited that there's the potential that the tight end could be the top pass catcher in this offense?
Yeah, I think that's exciting. I think it was also interesting. I don't know if Chat GPT included this in its summary, but also in there, LaFleur talks about the idea of needing Tucker Kraft to be a little more careful and pick his spots of trucking guys. And I thought that was really interesting because, I know some folks took that as being soft. I didn't. I took that as being smart because I think that speaks to how important he is to what they do. So, I think that if you're looking at their offense, it's not like they're going to stop throwing the ball to Wicks and to Reed and to Dobbs, but the guy that clearly LaFleur believes is the best of the bunch, if you listen to the way he talks, is Christian Watson. And Christian Watson's not going to be available until November at best, in my opinion. I'm not a doctor. So if that's going to be the case, they have to find other ways to win, and certainly Tucker Kraft is a hell of an option.
Jason, you talked a little bit about AI here. Are you using AI at all for your show prep or for anything you got going on these days?
No, I'm terrified of it. It's replacing journalists, so I wasn't going to go there because I didn't. Pablo and I were in such sync there. I didn't want to say, please don't do that to my stories anymore. I don't want people to think I'm easily replaced.
You are far from it. You cannot be replaced, Jason.
I don't know about that, but in fairness, let's be honest. Chat GPT or Grok or whatever. They have to have a basis to create their artificial intelligence, and that stuff is all created by people. And then they call it together, and then they give you like your summary. So No, I'm not a fan. I don't want. I've seen the Terminator movies. I'm afraid of, what is it, Skydyne or whatever it is.
Skynet, Skynet.
Yeah, Skynet. Yeah, that's it. So I'm not a fan at all. I would prefer if moving forward we don't discuss it ever again.
Understood. And hey, it's got a long way to go. It didn't even know I played for the Madison Radicals, which you as a good journalist do know.
Not only that, I know how viral you went for that own goal or whatever you did.
Thanks for
Hey, you did it.
Thanks for bringing that up, Jason. All right. Anything else you got for us today?
No, I'm glad you guys are doing this. You guys are both the part of the next generation. I'm not planning on retiring or leaving anytime soon, obviously, but we've got so many young, talented people on our team, and you two and Riley are among them. And I'm glad to see you guys getting an opportunity. And look, if you want, I told Riley this. If you guys value your airtime and you need the reps, you don't need me, taking up oxygen. I'm okay with that too. But anytime you guys want to call on a Saturday, we'll make it work.
Jason,
all right.
We will for sure call you. And because also you made the reference to the Terminator, I know, what was it? You guys talked about Dallas on Wilde and Tausch. Wasn't there a Golden Girls reference? Or there was something. Somebody referenced a pretty lengthy show too. We need more of those. Three's Company. That's what it was.
Tausch went Three's Company. Yeah, we really cater to the younger crowd. We're very focused on growing our youthful audience. I think we're doing a pretty good job so far.
And we're trying not to alienate our older audience with Boomer Doom coming up not too long from now. Well, thanks so much for your time, Jason, and we're looking forward to hearing from you every week.
All right, boys. Take care. Be good.
Thank you so much. That was Jason Wilde. Saturday Scramble continues coming up next.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Listen to Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin on 100.5 ESPN.
When you do the right thing more often in the draft, you end up with more good football players. And next thing you know, you have another guy that you feel awesome about, even though you didn't feel pressured to do it.
Wilde and Tausch, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by Hallman Lindsay Paints, Coors Light, Made to Chill, and American Family Insurance.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Since 1956, Hallman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Hallman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Hallman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Hallman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
This is Monte Ball.
Monte steps to the right, dashes, reaches, touchdown.
You listen to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
It's time to think outside the pocket on Saturday Scramble.
I think the Bucks signed their souls away or something.
I look at the Bucks as Augustus Gloop.
That's awesome.
On 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. With Pablo Iglesias, here's Alex Gravatt.
It was easier to be excited about the Green Bay Packers this time last year than it is right now. I'm Alex Gravatt alongside Pablo Iglesias. This is a Saturday Scramble. Riley Yauk behind the glass, keeping us sounding good, the ones and twos, all those good things. But last year, the Green Bay Packers were coming off of a win in the playoffs, and then they took the eventual NFC North or NFC champions to the absolute brink, and it was one rookie mistake from, and I know he wasn't a rookie, but a first-year starter mistake from Jordan Love to end the Packers season. They had a shot. They had the ball, there was time, and they had timeouts. They had a shot to go and win. And now, we're a year removed. We've lost to almost all the playoff teams that the Packers encountered, and there's not been a whole lot of motion. There hasn't been that signing, that moment of the offseason, and I don't know if this draft is deep enough to really bolster what they've got going on. I don't know what they can do to make me really excited. And Pablo Iglesias here, as someone who's been a fan of a team, and I hate to throw you under the bus like this, but I'm going to do it.
How dare you?
The Bears have stunk for like decades.
Yeah.
Since 2006, they've been pretty bad. They've had moments, but there were seasons where you were really excited. Is that right?
Even this season. Even this season.
So you're excited to be a Bears fan right now.
This past season, I was probably the most optimistic that I had ever been about the Chicago Bears, because it was like I was buying into the Caleb Williams train, and then when they went out and got Rome Odunze in the first round, I'm like, okay. I think the things that I was also coming in with concerns, though, too, ended up happening. But I was trying to cloud that away with the more optimism, like Caleb Williams is the future, still played super well despite all the offensive line stunk. The coaching was terrible. And there's a reason why with Ben Johnson coming in that he has pretty much revamped the Chicago Bears offensive line. I don't know if there's going to be a massive turnaround next season, but I'm pretty... last season for sure gave me the opportunity to take a step back and reset the expectations. Mm-hmm. Give it about I'd say a 2-year window. I still think Caleb Williams is going to ball. I don't think this this Bears offense is going to light it up. And hey, being from Chicago, we want a winner. I'm also a Chicago White Sox fan, so I got to see a lovely World Series win when I was 10 years old, and then last year I got to see them be the worst team ever in baseball history. So we're hurting. We're hurting right now, that's for sure.
All right, 844-770-3776. The reason I bring all of this up, that's the Carbis Talk and Text line. List is more. I don't necessarily feel that great about the Packers going into this season. I think they're going to be good again. I really do, but I don't know if I maybe it's a guarded heart, maybe it's something else. I don't expect this Green Bay Packers team to be a championship caliber team. I think that they're building to win the NFC North, and I think that they will be more competitive in the NFC North. I don't think if the Packers encounter the Eagles or the Commanders in the playoffs this year, I don't think they're going to win. As it stands right now, and there's a lot that could change, right? The Eagles, Saquon Barkley had such an incredible season last year. I don't think he'll do that again. I don't know if we're going to see the same exact thing from Jaden Daniels out in Washington, but I don't think that the Packers have done anything that much to get that much notably better, and expecting a big jump feels like a stretch to me. So 844-770-3776. If you are confident, if you are feeling excited about the Green Bay Packers right now, maybe even more so than you were at this time last year, let me know. I as a Packer fan, would really like a breath of fresh air, a breath of excitement. I think Jim Rutledge has gotten to me. He's such a Debbie Downer all the time, and he's earned that as a Bears fan because that is a man with a guarded heart. Pablo,
I try to be a little more open than Jim. We are Bears fans, but I try to be as much as an optimistic Bears fan as I can be.
Mr. Positivity, can you give me some reason to be really excited and positive about this Packers team right now?
Unfortunately not. I want to help you out. I don't like to kick someone while they're down. I want to pick you up, but no, I also agree with this because, again, I just feel very underwhelmed with this offseason, and even looking at what last offseason looked like, bringing in Josh Jacobs and bringing in Xavier McKinney. I didn't know too much about McKinney, but I knew, just again from Packer fans and Packer fans who are friends, they were excited about that. That was a big get, and it turned out to be a grand slam for Goody to get that. I love Josh Jacobs. I knew that he was a dog. Shout out, I think he won me a fantasy football championship back when he was like a rookie or something like that. Yeah, a little flex out here, but nobody does care about your fantasy football team, so I won't talk too much about it. But I love how much of a dog he was, and I knew that was going to be an awesome addition. As much as it would have been tough to see both Aaron Jones and Josh Jacobs like in that same offense, but it is what it is. Like, Josh Jacobs was the workhorse, but that week 1 injury for Jordan Love, that I just felt like set things back. We talked about it a little bit last week. Like, I don't know what the season would have looked like if we had a fully 100% Jordan Love. Like, what? Again, you can't just stay healthy like the whole year. You're gonna run through those trials and tribulations of injuries, but there was a lot of excitement, man, in that 2023 season.
Yeah, there was
a lot of excitement.
And there's reason for it, right? Like, young, unproven, flashy players is exciting. And right now, the flashes are less bright. They're less exciting. But there is one more big moment coming up in this offseason in about 20 days, just a little under. Yeah. And that's the NFL draft. We've got some audio from Jim, Matt, and Molly, and we're going to get to that next. But Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN, 844-770-3776. We are trying to get to you. Let us know what you think. Should we be more or less excited for the Green Bay Packers? We'll have more coming up next. This is the Saturday Scramble.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
The GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. GRB Academy wants to be part of your plan to reach your potential. Utilize GRB Academy's 52,000 square foot facility, 14 batting cages, and 6,000 square foot weight room. Personal lessons at the GRB Baseball Academy are available year-round. With over 300 college players and over 150 Division I players, GRB has consistently led the way in the Midwest for college recruitment and player development. Visit their website, grbacademy.com, for more information. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Spring is here, and Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison is celebrating with 2 fantastic promotions: Rollover Jackpot and Super Picks. Every Tuesday in April will be our Rollover Jackpot drawings. The jackpot grows by $500 with each drawing until a winner is found. And on Saturday afternoon, April 26th, is Super Picks, where 21 winners will each go to the big punch board to reveal a prize up to $5,000. That's over $100,000 in possible cash prizes in one day. April brings so many ways to win at
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Talk Badger sports year-round with the Jump Around podcast.
I had a blast, and I think most people would say this is one of the more enjoyable years that they've had playing basketball.
Tune in for the Top Badgers conversations every week, featuring special guests with Wisconsin players, coaches, and more.
From the coaches to the players, we knew how to have fun in the locker room, and to me, that was a big part of the season.
The Jump Around, brought to you by Steinhoffels, streaming live every Thursday on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel and available wherever you get your podcasts.
Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks, and springtime is here and baseball season is officially underway. Don't miss your chance to add your favorite players from the diamond in your Prize Picks lineups. On Prize Picks, you can mix and match player projections from different sports. You can combine your favorite baseball players with players from basketball and hockey and esports and much more. The second half of the basketball season is here, and the push to the playoffs is heating up on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on your favorite sports. Download the app today and use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free, as in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free, and you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
With the next pick in the big draft, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Dane County selects you. As we count down to the draft in Green Bay, Big Brothers and Big Sisters is also counting on you to help meet the growing demand of mentorship in our community. Become a role model, a motivator, a supporter, a positive influence. Empower the young people in our community to create a brighter future for all. Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Dane County presents The Big Draft in partnership with the NFL Inspire Change. Learn how to get involved at bbbsmadison.org.
This message is sponsored by WisCaregiver.com. Now is the time to start a meaningful career as a caregiver. Make a real difference in people's lives. WisCaregiver.com gives you 2 great options for free. Train for the in-demand caregiver workforce as a CDCP, Certified Direct Care Professional, or become a CNA, Certified Nurse Aide. All training is free. Plus, you can earn a $500 bonus. Learn more. Visit WisCaregiver.com.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
The Saturday Scramble continues. I'm Alex Gravatt alongside Pablo Iglesias, and man, our producer Riley Yauk working hard right now. We have a room out in the hallway called The Stacks. He had to reset our stream because the stream audio wasn't functioning well. And then he goes and he gets this song that I've requested. We're going to start doing segment 2, hour 2 of the Saturday Scramble will be our gym songs. This is one of my favorite songs to listen to at the gym. It's just a good upbeat, like, you know, you get the energy going. I like it. And part of the reason that we're talking about this is because my gym has a new patron, I guess, who has a mouth guard and a wrestling singlet and these like hyper wrapped up knees. He's got elbow pads and he's doing, you know, walking lunges through other people's workout space, telling them that they have to move for him. So 844-770-3776 is your way into the show. The Carbless Talk and Text line list is more. Tell us what you think tell us about your crazy gym person, or if you are the crazy gym person, I'd love to hear from you. I think that would be really funny. But Pablo, you said you don't know what your gym song is at the moment?
I have one. I think I'll keep it as a tease. I'll text Riley the song that I'm looking for our next break, or coming in for bump music coming out of our next break. So I'll text Riley that. I think our vibes are a little different. There's nothing wrong with it, but hey, what gets you fired up at the gym is what gets you fired up at the gym.
And I'm trying to diversify a lot because I think a lot of times it's just like kind of rambunctious fun music. But I recently made the switch over from one streaming service to the other. I'll say no free advertising for these
free pub.
2 giant conglomerates, both of which you can find our podcasts, and this show will be alive on both of those platforms. But recreating a playlist is so hard, and I made the mistake. Like the first day I was live on this new audio stream, I had a friend over and we were playing a space-themed board game. And he was like, Alex, I would like it if you set the mood, because I'm a big board gamer. I love board games. He's like, can you get some like Space Odyssey style vibes going? And I was like, oh, sure. I found a playlist. We played, it was an hour-long game, hour and a half. We played an hour and a half of this like space techno weird music, and that was the first thing that my new algorithm had on me. And so now I'll be like listening to new politics by goodness gracious,
Harlem.
Yes,
yeah.
By Harlem, or I'll be listening to Childish Gambino or Walk the Moon, Panic at the Disco. I kind of have like a late 2000, early 2010s vibe going, and
so it gives me more like outdoor, like summertime vibes.
Yeah,
like a good vibe. Like I get it. Like I love that song too. But I think it's like, for me, it's like a different vibe for sure. Like where I'm at the gym, like I'm like old school hip hop or whatever it is, or new school. Sometimes it's electronic. Like I said, I got one that like I haven't listened to in a minute, but that can get me like fired up and ready to go.
That's good. Yeah, and that's what you want. I like to have a pretty wide range. I have a buddy on the Radicals with me. Actually, he moved away. but Dan is his name. And he and I would occasionally do a workout together from a friend of mine, J-Dub. He's also on the Radicals. He's a personal trainer. He puts together Frisbee-specific workouts for the team. It's really helpful. And he and I were doing this together. And he's like, all right, cool. Let's. I forgot my headphones. He's like, we'll share a headphone and we'll hype each other up. And he listens to like motivational speaking.
Like a TED Talk?
Not TED Talk, but it's like, you only have one chance to be a champion. And you'll work your entire life for this one moment. And now is the time that you're working.
I feel like we're at just like a generic like EDM like concert. Like we could put any electronic beat for it and it would just like this is it. Tonight is the night. Like something like that. Like you put the miracle speech before a big bass drop. Like, you guys get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Like, I don't know exactly how to explain it, but maybe like this is the sort of thing that I think I don't know, Jordan Love could maybe use. Because like Jordan Love is, I don't know what he's doing, but maybe he's more like you, where he's listening to like some old school hip hop, getting ready for the game, like this is fun, or he's listening to some rambunctious, maybe not like metal, but like Harlem style music, where it's like, oh yeah, all right, I get it, this is fun, like and for me personally, that's good for me. But maybe he just has a need for someone to like fire him up.
You know what?
Wow, this is. I tasked Riley just a moment ago. I was like, hey Riley, can you get us something like to be energetic, and engaged?
You want to know what I did to bring it back full circle? We went to ChatGPT and asked, give me generic coach talk phrases, and it categorized them. The first category, motivational and mindset, a couple here.
I don't know. I don't want you to categorize. I want you to deliver them right now. To me, as if I were Jordan Love, with this song, which I need you to swell. I need you to swell it, right? Like, get it big when he's going to hit his crescendo.
Like right there.
Start low. And you are going to motivate me like I'm Aaron Rodgers, Pablo.
So we've got to just take it one game at a time. We can control what we can control. Trust the process. Adversity reveals character. Don't forget that. We didn't execute the way we needed to. We've got to clean up the little things. Our guys fought hard out there. And we'll look at the tape and we will make corrections. It's a team effort. We win and we lose together. We just didn't make enough plays. But we are moving on to the next week. Short week. Quick turnaround. Got to stay focused. We're not looking past anybody. Now go out there and take it.
There it is. That's what I'm looking for. Jordan Love's got to be absolutely bought in right now. Oh boy, what are we doing here, guys?
It also asked if it wanted me for it to generate a fake press conference or post-game interview full of those.
Wow,
so it might give me a full script. I'm gonna say yes and see what happens.
No, okay, we're gonna put that on the back burner, Pablo. This is Saturday Scramble. I'm Alex Gravatt. That fantastic, absolutely iconic speech presented from ChatGPT by Pablo Iglesias, Riley Yauk on the ones and twos, getting our motivational music, which Hall of Fame.
Great choice.
Is that your gym song?
No, that maybe in middle school. That was like driving to a basketball tournament, getting fired up in the car where my mom's driving me. And I'm like, yeah.
You got to listen to like
I'm
a hype
drop
song, but
6 points today.
I'm gonna have a triple six, which maybe I shouldn't. Yeah,
I'm gonna have a single today. 1 assist, 1 point off a free throw. I missed the front end of 2 shots on a BS foul, and then 1 rebound.
Wow, rebound on your own shot, right?
Exactly.
You're a big man. You're up in there fighting. Yeah. So Jordan Love could use a little bit of motivation. Apparently, all of us could, and ChatGPT certainly could not deliver that for us. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talking text line. Liz is more. What is your gym pump-up song? Text us right now. Because mine was goofy. That was goofier. Is yours, as Riley Yauk, as an MMA guy, as jiu-jitsu, is it?
Yep.
Is your pump-up, like, is there music there, or is it just a lot of grunts and yells?
So there is music, and it really depends on who's coaching, I guess, that day. Typically, it'll be our amazing professor Christian, and he's Brazilian. So typically, we get some Brazilian pop in there, and some of that's really good. I couldn't name a single song because I don't know any of the lyrics, but it gets you fired up, ready to roll. It's a great time, great community at Forward BJJ.
That's what we need. That's what we need. I love that.
So I'll play some Brazilian pop at some point for you guys. You're going to love it.
Yeah. I love it. I'm going to start dancing up in here. I already was earlier.
Yes, okay. We'll put Brazilian pop on when we play Boom or Doom coming up next. This is the Saturday Scramble on ESPN Wisconsin.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Professional volleyball is in full swing from here in Madison. Don't miss a second of the action. Cheer on Love Madison Volleyball as they make history with some of the best players in the world. Olympic medalists, NCAA All-Americans, and one of the most talented rookie classes ever. This is volleyball at its highest level. Experience the excitement yourself. Get your tickets today at lovb.com. Volleyball is the next major league.
Hey, ready to sweeten your game? It's time for Quick Trip's Nature's Touch Ice Cream. Ooh, making moves like the starting lineup of a championship team. Whether you're gearing up for the big game, celebrating a win, or just looking for a sweet break in the action. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and more. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad pick. So why wait? Flavor doesn't scoop itself. Get your hands on your winning Nature's Touch Ice Cream flavor today. Only at Quick Trip.
Hi, this is Brian Posick, and I can't wait for Mark Osiki's Casting for Kids Fishing Tournament coming up Saturday, May 17th on the Madison Chain of Lakes. It's a great time, great people, all for a great cause. There's lunch, dinner, raffles, and auctions, all to support the American Family Children's Hospital, UW Carbone Cancer Center. Plus a chance to win an Alumacraft fishing boat from Don's Marine. Join us on the water May 17th. Donate or partner with us. Learn more and register at castingforkids.org. That's casting4kids.org.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Saturday Scramble, breaking all the rules. I'm Alex Gravatt alongside Pablo Iglesias, and just absolutely on fire in back is DJ Riley Auk.
Barry Alvarez's favorite DJ, you could say.
Yes, true. Barry loved the songs that you chose for the Great Day in Huddle this whole football season.
Which didn't make any sense, too, because it was such a wide variety. I'd switch between classic rock, country, current pop, 2010 music. Like, it was all over the place, and he'd always be bobbing his head. Barry just likes music. He's a music guy.
Love that.
I love it.
And this is the first gym song that you chose.
This is my first gym song.
That's why we're breaking the rules, because this is supposed to be segment 2 only.
Hey, we're here. This is it.
All right. Speaking of breaking rules, I still am I'm struggling with this, Riley. But Riley Auk smiling, big old smile behind the glass right now. It's time to play Boom or Doom.
Introductions. We've had all the pomp and circumstance. We've had all the fuss and feathers. But it's time for
Doom.
Alrighty, guys, it is in fact time for Boom or Doom. Thank you, Vin Scully, once again for a fantastic intro. Rest in peace. So, first question for you guys. I heard a question on Unsportsmanlike the other day. Unsportsmanlike, Evan Canty and Michelle, weekdays 5 to 9 right here on 100.5 ESPN. And a caller asked, if Michael Penix Jr. wins a Super Bowl, will he pass Chipper Jones as the biggest Atlanta sports legend? Obviously, we're not here to talk about Atlanta sports legends, but I want to give you guys a hypothetical. Boom or Doom? If Christian Yelich leads the Brewers to their first World Series, let's say he rekindles his MVP form, and I picked him over Jackson Chourio just because he already has some cachet in the world of Wisconsin sports.
Sure.
If Christian Yelich leads the Brewers to their first ever World Series title, will he pass Aaron Rodgers in the Wisconsin pantheon of sports legends? Boom or Doom?
Okay. First things first. I know that we are insiders on this, and not by choice, I would like to say for myself. Boom or Doom comes from a TikTok father-son duo. And those guys, they started by raiding the Costco food court. Is that what it is?
We're Costco guys. Of course we're... What the heck is this thing?
A chicken bake. The
double chunk chocolate cookie.
The chicken bake.
Okay, Costco has a food court. We get it. They've got like 9 options. They've been cheap forever. It's good stuff.
Hot dogs.
Yes, the hot dog.
We need to get Costco to partner with this segment.
And we need...
Market.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. And they assess booms to things they like and dooms to things they don't. Right? And they can do multiple booms?
Yes.
Okay. Do I think that Christian Yelich will pass Aaron Rodgers should he win a championship? No. Doom.
Boom for me, because it's the first. Aaron Rodgers just adds on to the Titletown legacy, so it's a standard.
But dude, we all care more about, and maybe I guess probably in this room. In this room,
don't say that to Riley.
This is not an accurate depiction of the state of Wisconsin. We like the Packers more than the Brewers.
The Brewers
always.
The Brewers had a celebration for losing the World Series.
Yeah.
In 1982. I know that there's more context to it, but that's how I take it at face value. You guys are the runners-up. And then
the other one is called Titletown.
All I'm saying is that you're adding to the standard of Titletown. Milwaukee's not known as Titletown. You have an NBA championship, a couple that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and now Giannis added onto it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if Christian Yelich, who was the MVP at one point, goes full circle and helps the Milwaukee Brewers get the championship that they had so much wanted all of these years, as a franchise. It's more than just a time where families can have fun in the summer. What was the Antanasio quote? Riley, I know that you were fired up about that.
Yeah, Mark Antanasio, he asked a hypothetical question. Am I here to win championships or provide a summer of family fun and entertainment?
You know, go run a minor league team.
Yeah.
No, you know what provides a summer of family fun and entertainment? Christian Yelich winning the World Series for the Milwaukee Brewers. Boom.
Okay.
All right, on to the next. I would agree. I think it would be legendary. Churio would also get his name. Everyone on the roster would become Wisconsin sports legends if they're able to lead the Brewers to a World Series. Second question, boom or doom for you guys. Jack Janicki and Nolan Winter announced yesterday that they'd be coming back to Wisconsin, although it was already pretty heavily inferred that they'd be coming back. Boom or doom, making a big deal about returning to your own school in the offseason.
In this time with NIL and things like that, especially after putting together what was maybe the most entertaining Badgers program, the most entertaining team for a few years, I don't know how big of a deal they need to make it, but the school needs to make that a big deal. That's going to make it an interesting place, because what I'm worried Wisconsin is going to become is a stopgap between the guy who didn't get into the school he wanted to, or didn't get to play at Duke or Auburn or Florida, one of the big ones, right? And they're coming from a MAC school or a Big East school. They come in and have a good season with us and then go on to a bigger one. This shows that we have staying power and people are going to want to play. It makes Wisconsin a more interesting place to come as somebody else. So last night I ran into some friends at the bar, and they told me they're not dialed in to hear me poo-poo boom or doom. They want to hear me give multiple booms. So much to my own chagrin, boom, boom, boom. Let's keep the guys in-house.
It did throw me off when it was like, they're back. I'm like, where they going? I don't know. It is just like a strange point that we're at in college basketball, or college sports in general. Like, I mean, will we see that? I think I'm gonna get tired of it pretty quickly if this happens in football, I guess. So I don't want to say it doom. I am big boom still. But I'm curious to see, like, if this is going to be like a long-term thing, because it's like, all right, like, let's look at football. Okay, your second string linebacker's back. Great. Okay. Let's put out a graphic. Let's do it. I think it's so slight doom. Don't do it. Oh, he did it.
Small doom. Small doom.
Well, that's the thing about this. They make doom so, like, in the intro, they're like, boom, and they're all excited, and then they like take a beat and they're like, or doom, and like, what are we doing? These guys are so cringy, and I'm all for a father and son having a thing together. I think that is amazing. I know we've got a lot of fathers and sons listening right now. I am kind of neither in a way. I'm a son, whatever, but like, you know, just I love that they have this relationship and they have something. I'm going to be so brutally honest. This is like, I listened to a Times podcast about how TikTok is just dismantling our young people today. I mean, like, more people now than ever have believed that they don't have like purpose in life, which is just depressing. And it's because of garbage like this, Riley.
That's a doom, guys. Anyways, that's a very true topic. Just maybe not for the last question of boom or doom. I think we could all agree TikTok sucks, generally speaking, but not the Costco guys.
My TikTok is awesome.
TikTok sucks.
Third and final question, non-sports related for you guys. In case you were unaware, speaking of brain rot, the Minecraft movie released yesterday.
No.
It has some incredibly mediocre reviews, 51% on Rotten Tomatoes, 6.1 on IMDb. But the buzz is off the charts, and the reaction videos I've seen have been fantastic. People have been all about it. So, boom or doom, you would see a movie just for the heck of it just for the laughs, even though you know it's going to suck.
Am I going to the theater, or is this like available on streaming?
You're going to the theater. Would you do it? You know it's going to suck, but it's going to be stupid and hilarious while sucking.
Oh, man. I'm going to say Doom. I can't do it. As much as I am a guy who loves to commit to the bit,
you really are.
With movies, man, I can't do it just because it's like I don't want to spend like $20 and then get like snacks and all that. Like I can't do it. I will watch it when it's. I think it was. I can't remember which movies. Actually, the Lego Movie ended up being pretty good.
Lego Movie was a great movie.
Yeah, maybe it was like Angry Birds or something like that. I'm like, oh, this is available for free on like my free streaming like app that I have here. Okay, I'll watch this movie since it's available now. Or like Space Jam 2. I'm like, I did not want to go to the movies to see Space Jam 2. But because it was available on Max, I'm like, I'll stream it because I'm already spending the money for the streaming service anyway. So I'll just watch it here. So I'm going to doom this one. As a guy who loves to commit to the bit, you ain't getting this final rose. Sorry, Minecraft.
2 things. Hunter Vaughn just walked into the office.
No way.
Hunter Vaughn would for sure watch. He loves movies. He would go do it. And so last night I was trying to decide what to do. It was kind of date night with my girlfriend Elfie. We were trying to decide, and making decisions for both of us is hard. We both just want to make sure the other person is happy, right? That's like our thing. And so we're always hard pressed to make plans because neither of us are super decisive in that. And so I decided we were going to play Deal or No Deal, and I put 20 options on the back of pieces of paper. She chose one, and then we went through, and she would eliminate some, and then I'd get a call from the banker, and I had a list of 10 other options that I would offer.
This is intense.
I slapped it together.
All
in 15
homemade
minutes.
too.
All
You
homemade.
just came up with this. That's impressive.
Bald cap and everything, so you looked like Howie Mandel.
Howie Mandel, a hilarious follow on TikTok, by the way.
Great.
I recommend it.
So funny.
Really, really obscure. But on that list was the Minecraft movie, which I didn't watch. I think that if you're going to do it, you have to approach it as a bit. You have to get a couple friends to go. Maybe have some bevies beforehand, as long as you've got a DD.
Yes.
A lot of places also sell beverages at the establishment now, which is great. And so if you're going to do it, you gotta lean into it. And try not to ruin the kids' nights who are there, because I'm sure there are a lot of kids who are going to take that movie. So I'm going to say worth seeing.
Go to the 9 p.m. screening.
Boom.
Minecraft movie, a big boom. That was Boomer Doom.
That was Boomer Doom. This is Saturday Scramble on ESPN Madison.
Boom! Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Hey, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network, and I've got a question for you. Is your home ready to shine this season? Whether it's roofing, siding, or windows, Ridgetop Exteriors is the name you can trust. For over 20 years, Ridgetop Exteriors has been Wisconsin's favorite for roofing, and they bring that same expertise to siding and windows. Imagine vibrant, low-maintenance siding and energy-efficient windows that brighten your home while cutting energy costs. Ridgetop Exteriors holds all expert-level installation credentials with the leading manufacturers, including Pella, James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding, and LP Smart Side Engineered Wood Siding. With thousands of 5-star reviews and a commitment to excellence, they're the clear choice for home improvement needs. Plus, consultations and estimates are always free, so there's no reason to wait. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com to schedule your free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, putting customers first every time.
Ridgetop Exteriors is the place for you.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Smalls, your favorite sport for your whole life is baseball.
Correct.
I'm going to name a baseball movie. We're going to guess if she's seen it or not. Has she seen The Natural? Cece?
No.
I have not seen The Natural.
Of course. Okay, we're one for one.
Have you seen Bull Durham?
I'm going to say no.
No.
I have not.
Major League, has she seen it?
Yes.
I'm going to say no as well.
Yes, show some respect.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekdays from 5 to 9 on 100.5 ESPN. Madison's home of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Lillard lobs up top to Giannis. Whoa, what a play!
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, pump set, left side, powers it down. What a rally! And Wisconsin comes out on top.
And now, the Milwaukee Brewers.
Swinging a fly ball to left. It is back to the wall. Gone! Churio, a grand slam.
This is Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Are we gonna do what they say can't be done?
This is what Riley out listens to at the gym.
Right before he's about to fight people and flip them over.
I would.
And he, you know, I think, I don't know at what point, but at some point, Riley, we need to get a bet going or something and have one of the punishments be you flip one of us two.
In a singlet.
In a singlet, right. Because, of course, I'm Alex Gravatt. That's Pablo Iglesias. This is Saturday Scramble. 844-770-3776 is your way into the show. I have a new guy at my gym who wore just like a wrestling onesie, like tight outfit with the knee braces and all of that. And he's got a mouth guard. And so we all need to get some of those.
I also see this because it's like with my role as a digital content specialist here at ESPN Madison, I want to make sure when I'm putting content together, it's like the song fits. Riley, like in my own like HBO mind right now, that I can see
it's Max now.
Oh yeah, sorry. Well, no, still the HBO itself, the standalone. I can see on cable. Yes.
Who has that?
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Our average age is like 25.
When I'm watching the HBO shows, because I'm like diving into them right now, Riley, I could see like just a hard cut montage of you flipping people while this song is going. I could make this work. A sepia tone for those who are like deep into film. I could see this like an orangey kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
Spaghetti Western type vibe.
Yeah, exactly. Hard cuts, like the light is, it's like overexposed light coming in from the windows. It's a sunny day, and you're just flipping guys on the mat, just left and right. I could see it happening.
Back on the rails for a moment. We asked you on Twitter, which you can vote at ESPN Madison. What do you think the Packers have prioritized this season? Winning the NFC or winning the NFC North? Winning the NFC North is about 5% ahead, 55 to 44, so actually 10%. But I think that's fair, right? Like that was my feeling. And Jason Wilde joined the show around 10:45 to talk a little bit about that. And he said that even since McCarthy, the Packers' emphasis has been you make the playoffs, then you win your division to promise yourself a home game. Then you get the 1 seed so you don't have to go away at any time. And then you worry about the championship. And so right now, the Packers are worried about winning the division. If that is their every season structure. But on a larger scale, I do feel like that's what they're worried about right now, winning the division. And then whatever happens in the playoffs happens. Pablo, you seem antsy.
If you are Titletown and you want to be this consistent organization that chases after the Lombardi Trophy, you cannot reset a standard like this. I think you can reset how you go about it, but you can't be like that. It's this. I don't think Goody is necessarily a my way or highway kind of guy by any means. And I know the question was asked like on several shows: is Goody stubborn? I don't know if he's stubborn necessarily, but it's more of just like you got to have some type of wiggle room too. You gotta. It's not a if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's do you want to just win 10, 11, 12 games, or do you want to chase after a Super Bowl? Do you want to chase after a championship? So I think it just kind of feels small-minded right now if you're just trying to beat the teams. Like I said earlier, it's like a Big Ten conference type of mindset. If you're only chasing a conference championship and hoping for the best versus like knowing you're the best, I feel like there's a difference there.
I think that this tells me one thing, right? If what is really happening is there's an emphasis on winning the NFC North, it tells me that Brian Gutekunst does not believe Jordan Love can be Aaron Rodgers. And I know that that's a super high bar, and a lot of us know that, but every year, going into a season when you had Aaron Rodgers at his prime, now these days probably not, but at his prime, you had a very realistic chance at beating any team any given Sunday. Like there was a very real reason to believe that. Jordan Love's a good quarterback, and I think very highly of him. I think that he's worth the money because you need to have a guy like that. But it tells me that the Packers know that they need to build around Jordan Love before they can decisively go after a championship. And so once you have established that you can beat what is a very competitive division right now with a lot of moving parts, you can beat all those teams, then we can worry about how do the Packers edge out the Eagles or the Bills or the Chiefs and whoever they'd play in the Super Bowl. But it does tell me that right now they think they're a little bit away from that, and they need to continue to build until there's a right moment to go all in.
The Packers feel like that they've just beaten themselves lately, and I think that's just what...
Oh, come on.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
They went 1-5 in the NFC North last year.
Yeah, but like those were not beat yourself moments. Jordan Love's first half.
Those were not beat yourself moments. Are you serious, man? Come on.
No,
that Lions game where he threw that interception at the end of the half, that was, I feel like, peak beating yourself.
The other Lions, the 10-point loss to the Lions game, in that Lions game, that was you got beat outright. Throwing 3 interceptions, yeah, that's a game where you might have beat yourself, but that was Jordan Love not playing his best. I don't think that the Packers are out here destroying themselves because they just outfloor so many teams.
I think they're getting close.
All right.
They're close to it.
Well, hey, next week, you're going to get a front 9 and a back 9 of the Saturday Scramble.
I love it.
It's exciting. We're getting ready. We're getting you ready for the draft, for golf. It's all everywhere. We're excited. We're all over the place. I'm Alex Gravatt. That's Pablo Iglesias. Thank you to Jason Wilde, and thank you to Riley Yauk. This has been the Saturday Scramble on ESPN Madison.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me.